they're too old to be doing the young nigga stuff though. So now they want to go to church all of a sudden though. But in scriptures it tells you to seek the Lord at a youth though, when you're young though, you know. And that's the thing about it though, man. So that's hypocrisy right there. You fucking jakes though, and you from a different tribes though, that all of a sudden you're in your 60s and you're in your 50s, you want to go to church and shit though, man. Because why? Because your ass can't be doing the young nigga shit no more like how you used to from back in the day. Or your ass got some infirmities that now you wanna talk to the Most High though. You all of a sudden want to talk to the Most High, you know? A bunch of hypocrites though. So that's why when you see, I see a lot of older people though, you know, in my work though. But you see all these people, right? You know, they're older, like the older lady or an older man and shit. But then you realize it'd be like, well, you know, you're going through these infirmities though. But at the same time, what the fuck were you doing when you were young, huh? Like you see an older lady, whatever, and she's like in a wheelchair or she has all these infirmities. But then at the same time, it's like, you don't know what that woman was doing in her 20s, you know? You don't know what the hell she was doing in her 20s though, in her 30s. So at the same time, you know, you can't, man. You know? What the hell were you doing in your 20s though? All of a sudden, you have these infirmities, or now you're tired though, to be doing your young nigga shit though, young woman shit though. Nah, man. You off though, man. So that's why it tells you in the scriptures, it clearly tells you in the scriptures to seek the Most High at a youth though, you know, which means younger. And that's the thing about it though, man. So the elder wasn't off, they didn't go off by telling those two Edomites that he could judge though, because if he's living what he's preaching though, he could do that though, you know. And that's the thing though. You can't judge me, though. We're not saying we have authority though, man. We don't got that gavel in the courtroom. We're just telling you what it is, man. And we're just getting the blood off our hands, and that's it though, man. All we can do is speak though. Speak the truth though, according to the Bible, man. Going to the Holy Ghost too though, you know? So let me get Matthew 7:1. It says, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged though." Going into, don't be a hypocrite, you know? So you're saying, hey man, don't be smoking, but at the same time, you over here smoking, but you're telling someone else that they shouldn't be smoking. That's a hypocrite. Guess what? You're asking to get judged for that. You're just telling someone don't be smoking, but then at the same time you're over here doing on the low. Hey, the Most High could give you some lung cancer or something like that, you know? So that's how the Most High judges, you know? And it says, and with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. So like you reap what you sow. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in your brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thy own eye? See, going back to hypocrite. See, you're over here saying, oh, you know, you shouldn't be smoking though, but here you are having a pack of cigarettes in the back pocket though, man. See, and that, you know, so that's the saying though, you know, you haven't pulled out that out of the eye, and behold, the beam is in thy own eye. See, nigga, you got, you know, it's like, nigga, you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes though, but here you are having a Camel Crush pack of cigarettes in your back pocket, you know. So you can't be throwing judgment like that, man. You gotta be real careful on what you say and how you live, or what you say, you know. But at the same time, going to Corinthians, it is true, because you're spiritual, you're not from this world, man. So you could judge though, and that's the thing about it though, man. If you know the elect that's out there, they're gonna get the powers though, man. They're gonna be judges, man. They're gonna be rulers though, man. You know, they're gonna be kings though. They're priests though. They're gonna be kings though. And what does a king do? A king does judgment though, man. You know what I'm saying though? A king could do judgment though. When, you know, back in the time of what you want to say, the medieval times though, remember they'll bring someone in front of the king and they'll tell them what this guy did though, and the king will have to pretty much do judgment, or either kill him or let him go, or whatever the case be. But that authority was within the hands of the king though. You see what I'm saying though? And that's the thing about it though, man. So even going back when Yahweh Shai with Pontius Pilate though, see, he had the power to be like, nah, this, he even said it himself, you know, I see no fault in this man though, which is talking about Yahweh Shai. But he said, you know what, I don't see no fault in this man. he washed his hands, whatever, and he let that judgment upon Israel to do what they wanted to do with Yahweh Shai though. But you see, Pilate did have that authority to be like, nah, he's good, let him go. But he didn't though, man. He thought by washing his hands like physically that he was good though, you know? But not. His judgment got passed like that because he was an authority, because before him, like I forgot who it was though, but remember they had to take him to Pilate though, you know? And they told him the matter of the fact what the situation was with Yahweh Shai though, and things like that though. You see? So they couldn't kill him before though. They had to do with that. So Pilate, being an authority at that time, you see, passed that judgment on saying, hey, you know what? Like, I don't see no fault in him. You guys do what you guys got to do with talking about Yahweh Shai. See? So that's the thing. And I'll get to the 5. It says, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thy own eye, and thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye. See? So if you someone that still smokes though, and you want to tell someone, hey, stop smoking, you got to stop smoking first yourself though, before you can tell anyone, hey, stop smoking, you know? I'm just giving an example though, you know? So to do that though, like I said, you got to stop smoking yourself though, in order to tell someone else, hey, you stop smoking though, you know? That's just being a hypocrite, you know? Just being a hypocrite. And that's the thing about it though, man. You can't be a hypocrite in the truth though, because then if you're over here trying to pass judgment, guess what? Your ass is going to get judged by the Most High. You know? So let me get Judges. Well, you know what? Let me get 1 Kings though. This is the book of. So this is the encounter of the 2 ladies that one of her babies died though, and they tried to steal the other woman's baby though, you know? So this is 1 Kings, I'll read the whole story though. 1 Kings 3:16, it says, then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, O Lord, my Lord. See, even back then, you know, that the kings will be called Lord, you know? And this woman, I and this woman dwell in the one house, so they're living together. And I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came past the 3rd day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. So they both had a baby though. And that this woman, and we were together, and there was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. So it was just them, you know, in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. You know, she pretty much slept on him, you know, suffocated him. And she rose at midnight and took my son from beside me, while the handsmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. So pretty much did a swap. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered in the morning, behold, it was not my son which I did bear. So, you know, she did a whole swoop-a-roop. The other woman said, nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And they said, no, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, the one said, this is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other said, nah, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. And the king, King Solomon, right? And the king said, bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king, right? And the king said, divide the living child in 2, and give one to the one and half the other. So King Solomon was using wisdom. He said, well, I'm going to cut this child in half, give one piece to this woman, and give the other piece to the other woman, right? Then spake the woman, whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and no wise slay it. But the other said, let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it. So he knew though, hey, she didn't want that child to get killed, cut in half though. She said, no, take it though, you know, because they didn't want to get killed. So from there, King Solomon knew her reaction was, okay, well, that's her son though, because she don't want that kid to be cut in half. And the other wicked ass woman was saying, yeah, cut it in half, give me my piece. And then it says, then the king answered and said, give her the living child, and no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. And 28 is the key, right? Going to judgment, you know, judging. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged. See? And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment. See? And that's the thing about it. Going back to 144,000, they're going to be kings, though. Kings and priests in the world, though. So they're going to be able to judge, though, man. The authority is going to be in their hand. You see what I'm saying, though? So therefore, at that time, King Solomon, the authority was in his hand because he had the wisdom and he was the king at that time, you know? Which, it's funny, though, but it's spiritual because it's Yahweh Shai. He's coming back to be king again because through reincarnation, he was Solomon, though, you know? So he's coming back again to get his throne and do the judgment, though, you know? So that's the thing. You see what I'm saying, though? So no matter what, though, like within our people always need a guidance, though, man. They're considered as sheep, though. So our people has a history of falling into these different idols and believing in them, even to this day, though. You see what I'm saying? So, and there's a whole book, right? I'm gonna get into the book of Judges. There's a whole book called Judges, though, in the book. Well, you can't judge nobody, though. Judges 2 and 12, it says, and they forsook the most high power of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves into them, and provoked the Most High to anger. And I'll jump down to 17. It says, and yet they will not hearken into their judges. See? Because it says, nevertheless, 16 it says, nevertheless, the Most High raised up judges. You see? I was saying, though, our people need judges. They need guidance, though, you know? So if our people are going off, though, and we're telling them, hey, you're an Israelite, you're not supposed to eat pork, you're not supposed to be eating pork, though, they'll be like, well, you can't judge me. You know, our people need judgment, though, you know? They need judges. And it says, nevertheless, the Most High raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. See? So if we got to judge our own people, though, man, because if not, you know what I'm saying, they follow these different idols and worship these different idols and things like that. Because if not, we were not able to pass judgment and tell them what to do. They fall into these different idols, though, man. Especially if they're Israelites, of course, though, because this is just for Israelites. It says, and yet they will not hearken into their judges, but they went whoring after other gods. See, and bow themselves into them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Most High, but they did not so. See? So they didn't. Our people, the majority of our people, pretty much all of them, they're not following the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, though. You know? That's why that 1/3, well, the 144,000, have to come back and be the judges, though, man. They're gonna be the kings and the judges, though, man. It's only right, though. You know? Because look we're not an authority, though. And look how fucking wicked our people have become, though. The degenerate plant, though. You know? And that's the thing about it, though. Because going into, because I talked about how the 144,000, they're going to be the kings of the world, though. You know? Yeah, they're going to be the kings of the world. So therefore, you know, they're going to need judges, though, man. So going into, Revelation 1 and 4, it says, I get 5. And from Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begot of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, and to him that loved us, washed us from our sins in his own blood, you know? And it says, and had made us kings, right? So kings do judgment, though, man, do judge. And priests unto God and his Father, to him be glory and domain forever, amen. See? So the 144,000, which John saw coming down, the New Jerusalem, which is the 144,000, because you gotta understand, you know, the David Tabernacles, which is his body, though, you know, they're gonna come back and rule this earth, though, you know, and that's the thing about it, though. But in order for someone to rule the earth, though, there has to be destruction, though, man. See? When these other nations, though, going back to the Syrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, though, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, they had through a whole war that had to kill them, you know?